Welcome to Having Words. I'm Aiden. This is our final pre-recorded episode from our time on URF Radio. Stay tuned for the talk, recorded on 30th of December 2018.
Welcome to URF. You're listening to I'll Be Damned, the only talk show that can promise real-life people with real-life problems.
Are we real life?
We're real life. I'm your reality host today, Joshua Martello, and with me for the final time are my special guests this week.
What do you mean final time?
The final time. It was
This
a
is
being
week
killed
special.
after this.
You're being
What?
killed after this.
What do you mean final time?
The first has achieved...
No. What do you mean?
So we're not coming back?
You
Are
are
we
coming
done?
back. You
Oh,
will
we
come
are?
back, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you'll come back.
Yeah?
What's all that about then?
No, you'll be back. You'll be back.
Okay.
Okay.
You'll be
Alright.
back.
Sorry.
The first has achieved more in his life in the last year than Guest 2 and myself has over 21 years of existence. It's life expert Thomas Gower.
That's me.
That's you.
Hey guys.
And our second guest has what most would call the most simple yet interesting of lives, a professional in being him. It's Aiden Hagger.
Hello.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, no, I like that. I've never
You
been
like
told
that?
that
Okay,
before.
good.
That was
Never
really
been told
smooth.
that.
There's worse intros.
There's
to
much
have.
worse
Exactly.
intros.
That's a good like
Exactly.
Tinder profile.
Yeah.
Are you on Tinder?
I was. I'm
Yeah?
not on it anymore.
Any reason?
Self-esteem.
Nice, actually. No, that's a good reason.
It's bad for you, mate.
Nice.
It
Bad
is.
for
No,
you.
you're right. You're right.
I've never been on it.
There you go. And look how much better off you are for it.
You're happy.
Would you say better off? Would
Yeah.
you say happy?
I would say both.
I mean, you live.
Look in my eyes.
Oh my god. Where are your eyes?
I would say both.
We're going to start off today with some rapid fire questions. Pew pew. Only 5 each.
Sorry.
The worst sound effects in the world.
Only 5 each. And which one of you? We're going to rock paper scissors it. Which
Are
one
we?
want to start?
Can,
Yeah.
are we
Can we
gonna do
remember
this
last
again?
week's
Because
shambles?
It took us like 10 minutes
No,
to figure
last
out.
week's shambles, I won, and yet I lost. How does that work?
It was a disaster.
Is it
Maybe you should
honestly
just
whoever
pick.
wins? Or are you just going to pick?
Just pick.
Which is it?
Joshua. Just pick.
I'm going to pick Tom first.
Okay,
There we go.
oh,
That's
shock.
what the script says.
Oh, that's what the script says.
Gotta
Pick Tom
skip-
first.
Yeah.
Give them the illusion of choice.
All right.
Exactly.
Tom, are you ready?
Hello. Yes, born ready.
What was your favourite cartoon show growing up?
Oh, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Nice.
Still is.
If you were running for office, what would your campaign slogan be?
I'll get it done.
Oh, get it done. What is your least favourite beverage?
I'm gonna say cranberry juice.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
bitter.
Bitter.
Yeah.
Don't call Tom that. Jeez, bitter.
You're just bitter.
Describe the perfect kiss in 3 words.
From my mum. Is that alright?
Yeah, you've done it. You've
That's
answered
the
it.
perfect answer.
And Tom, final question. If your plane was about to crash, who would you want sitting next to you?
John Locke.
Lost reference.
Lost
Lost reference.
reference.
That's nice. It's a
Oh,
lost
yeah,
reference.
it's-
Don't
you
worry
wouldn't
about
get
I'm lost.
it. Speaking of being lost, Aiden the short guy.
Hey!
Aiden,
Expect very slow answers.
oh no.
My brain doesn't work.
Don't
Doesn't
worry,
work fast.
We've got a
Doesn't work
3-hour
full stop.
slot today. It's
Fantastic.
okay.
Oh, wait, we don't actually do it.
Tom was
No,
like, what?
please, can't do that.
I want to go home.
Just go ahead, Tom. Aiden,
Yep.
what is the one food you wouldn't want to give up?
Pizza.
Nice. What compliment do people give you the most?
Eyelashes. I have long eyelashes. No, honestly, I've been. I'm not
They
lying.
don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Come here and look at. Actually, don't.
They
I
just
can't
point at you and
move.
say eyelashes.
No, they say I've got long eyelashes.
Is that good though? It might just be. It might be
And then
I
do you
don't-
wake up from your dream?
I don't dream to be complimented about my eyelashes. Funnily enough, it's just I don't know what it is. I personally don't see it.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Actually, he does.
I was
have,
just
he does
answering the
have nice-
question. Go on.
Studying your eyes.
Just answer the question.
What's your biggest addiction?
Alcohol.
Aiden, no.
No.
No, probably like video games or something like that.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank God you gave another answer.
Yeah.
Good save.
Where is the worst place you could get stuck?
Out in the middle of the sea.
Oh, yeah.
I
I
agree.
like that. You
I
know,
agree.
have you got that fear as well of just being out in the ocean?
There'd be nothing except water. That's
yeah,
scary.
and you don't know
it'd
what's
be awful.
below you,
No,
Like we
that's
know more
scary.
about space than we do about our deepest oceans.
which is
Crazy,
sick.
That's
Like I
sick and
went
crazy.
swimming in Thailand in just a lagoon, and it was I don't know where the bottom was. I don't know what was under there. It was great. I jumped off a boat and everything, but
But everyone I went with died or disappeared. Oh no!
no, it's just kind of scary yet.
The idea of
free,
it, I feel
didn't-
like
yeah, it was,
Yeah.
it
you
was
can make a
quite
big
scary.
doubt of it. And our final
Yeah.
question for the rapid fire questions.
Sorry, not so
if-
rapid fire.
Should been anything but rapid
If you,
fire.
if you had access to a time machine, where and when would you go?
Like medieval Europe, that'd be really cool.
Well, get the Black
Ooh.
Plague and die.
No, like fantasy. Okay,
Like
so maybe it's not
70%
fantasy.
of like European population.
No, but it'd just be like you could have the big meals and everything.
the big.
Oh, yeah,
what
the
if you're
feeds.
you'd just be a peasant? Like, no
Okay, then
offence,
how
but
about like think Vikings, like the big halls,
Think
beer
like-
halls,
like Sovngarde?
Yeah, basically I'd go there.
Sovngarde.
That's real, right?
That is real.
Historically accurate.
Skyrim's
We
based
did
off real life.
It is.
Great.
It
That's
is.
my answer.
Dragons, man. Dragons.
Speaking
The
of
story's
speaking of Skyrim and games, we're not going to have too much of a game talk. But do you guys know the Telltale games?
Yes.
Yeah, boy.
the make your own adventure kind of things. You pick through of what you want your character to do and in the game.
Yeah.
You've
Good
played them
times.
before. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Walking Dead one. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there was a recent Netflix TV episode that you guys hadn't watched, have you? Called Bandersnatch.
No.
Didn't watch it.
Sorry, that was homework, wasn't it?
That was
No.
that was the
I
only homework
failed.
you had
I'm
to
really
watch
sorry.
TV.
I failed you, Master Web.
And basically, it plays on this idea of having like options. So it's a Black Mirror episode, so you know it's just going to be a little messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And you're watching it, and then every so often you have to make a decision, and it's literally like seamless.
So
Can
do
I
you
just
have
ask how that
Yeah.
works?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it like
Do you have a
3
controller?
different episodes, and you have like a choice of one of 2 things at the end of each one, or
So it's at random intervals with throughout this program, and so the first one you have to make is a cereals. It starts off really silly, but you overthink it. It's like pick between like sugar puffs or like cornflakes or something like that.
Cornflakes will remember that.
Literally.
disliked by
How
sugar
do you,
puffs?
how do you do it? Is it a controller like on
So
the?
it literally
Yeah, you just-
like the black sides of the screens. The bottom bit of it pops up on the screen, and then 2
Oh, and
options
you
come up, and you get to pick one.
You
of
get
them.
to pick one. They must have just recorded like a bunch of episodes.
They definitely
that
did,
just
but like it's
Yeah.
streamed together.
It's so seamless through it
Really?
all, and
Really?
luckily, because there's so many different endings, which is so interesting. Because
Really?
you look it up afterwards, you're like, oh my god, I didn't even get close to that.
I
ending.
kind of want to do
It's
this.
amazing. You just keep watching it though.
Literally.
You drag you
A
back
different-
every time for a different ending.
Yeah, because one of
Oh
the
my God,
one of the
yeah.
endings means that you can go back to a previous choice, and we went back, changed our choice, and the story was completely different.
Really?
Oh my god!
It was so weird.
Did
it
you
was
ever?
so interesting.
You said about Telltale, but did you ever read the Goosebump books?
Oh, were they like
Yeah.
that?
Because they were like that. Because
Ah.
you make your decision like every. It's actually really frequent that you make a decision and then you skip to that page and you carry on and you make another decision.
Yeah,
I remember reading them when I was growing up.
I used
Sounds
to like
that.
reading the adventure books, which were cool.
Yeah, like turn
Yeah.
to page.
Yeah, turn to page yes if this is what you want to do. If not, do that, and
Hmm.
it'd be really cool.
I only ever saw them in science books.
What?
Did you ever see that? It's like turn to page 4, then on page 4 it said turn to page 31. Eventually, it just said like you're a loser. It's like
Oh, in the
no.
text that
Little
people used to write in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Good
but
times.
I would highly recommend, if you haven't seen it already, Black Mirror Bandersnatch. It's just it messes with your head. I played it so early in the morning. I think I played it like 2 a.m.
Terrible.
Why were
Terrible.
Wait,
you
what?
awake?
That's
I-
is that early on? I'd say that.
Well, for me, I went to bed really early at like 11, which is early for me, and then woke
that's
up
like
at that
4
time.
hours
No,
later.
that's-
That's not really.
That's
For
like
me,
4 hours
anyway,
past my bedtime.
It was
Yeah.
Genuinely is.
it was like at a very weird time, so I was watching it, and it so messed with my head.
Hmm.
But luckily, I looked it up, and I think I hit most of the endings. There were a few that I never even got close to,
Damn.
but it's definitely worth it. The one thing that I find interesting as well is the endings all have a different like narrative outcome. So if you get to one ending, it doesn't mean another ending like supports that ending. Like it could have a completely different
Oh.
agenda to it. It's
Right.
really weird.
See, that
but-
would be amazing, but I'm the kind of I would want to 100% it.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
like in
Every
a video
ending.
game. I would lose so many hours of my life just
Yeah.
watching it over and over
Yeah.
again.
honestly, because we wanted to go back and play it again and just pick the
I
other
wonder if you could
serial.
speed run it. You fast forward.
Can you- does it pause like when a decision pops up?
So
Was it a
Does-
quick time of it? Oh man.
Or is he like breathing?
Can you
like,
choose
just
no
waiting for you
action?
to
Yeah.
make that
Choose an
decision?
action now. It's like a timer goes down on screen and you have 2 decisions, and we
What if the
didn't
timer runs out?
we didn't
You die.
want to get there. We didn't want to see if the
I wonder if there's a secret third ending that no one's done.
maybe
Omission ending.
you
just don't do
anything.
It-
No
you
serious.
You
He
just
sits
stare
there
at
and
the
starves to death
table.
because he doesn't pick cereal.
It's really
cool.
good.
Is this how they're going to do a lot of TV series now, do you reckon?
I think
Is this going to open a door?
Mm,
I hope.
when
you
does it
reckon?
become a game though? That's
Yeah.
the
That's-
problem. People
that's
just
true.
watch TV to not know what's going to happen and be like, oh,
And
what's
to
it? I reckon it's
chill
going to be
out.
that, and to make their own predictions rather than cultivate the story themselves.
Exactly.
So,
I can't
that's an
imagine.
interesting hybrid of the two. Ooh,
I can't imagine
interesting.
my parents sitting down and doing that, or people
It would
of
just
like
cause
my
too
parents'
many arguments.
generation. 'Cause
yeah.
I just don't feel like they'd get it, or
Yeah,
they'd
exactly, like,
struggle. with
it's kind of a cool way to bring in and maybe a lot of people who play games don't really watch movies. Is it
Yeah.
because I like having control of the story?
Because obviously this was Black Mirror. It wasn't just some like independent thing. Like Black Mirror, there's always another like story or narrative or thing going on. And the one thing about this is something that I think is quite clear from the trailer as well. But the main character, he starts to know that he might be in a multiple choice reality.
Oh,
Breaks
really?
the fourth wall.
It breaks a little bit, yeah.
man.
And
I'm interested. I might
really
watch
cool.
this.
and the
now.
different
Yeah.
endings kind of encourage that and exaggerate it in different ways. So it's definitely worth
So he
watching.
becomes aware.
He in one of the endings and one of the paths. Oh yeah, another thing which is really interesting. I'm not spoiling it. Like this is
Yeah,
just an
please don't.
interesting factor.
This sounds really
This
cool.
happens in one of the endings. Is when you get to an ending or when you can't go any further, it takes you back to a previous choice. And then if you go back to the previous choice and go down the same pathway you went on that you just did, the options change for the answers of the question.
Oh,
So there was this one thing we clicked on something. It was like, oh, okay. Next time we do it again, we'll click on the other thing, and the options were different because we learnt something in the ending that we.
oh my.
Oh,
So
okay.
without spoiling anything,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
many endings do you reckon there are?
I think I looked it up, and there weren't as many as we thought. I think
No,
there's
I
only
reckon
like 8
some
or
of them,
10.
some paths sort of
Still,
cross, and then you
that's
end
a
up
lot.
on the same way anyway.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quickly, like there's a film called It Follows, which
Haven't watched it.
Bird Box reminds me of.
I've been asking people this
I've-
week to watch it with me, but nobody's.
I wanna watch it.
I'll
I
watch
wanna
it with
watch
you.
it.
Like,
Have you seen
honestly, yeah, I love
Is
that
it good?
film.
I've
My
heard
dad
it's quite
showed it to
scary.
me.
Have you seen it,
It's
Aiden?
I haven't
quality.
seen it. I've heard it's quite scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole premise, like that something follows you, and the
The
only
whole
way
time.
you can get rid of it is by sleeping with someone.
Yeah.
But if that person that you pass it on to,
I would
so Aiden
be
will be
screwed.
alright. So that's
Anyone,
it.
please, Falmer, right?
Please, but
My
if,
life depends on it.
but if that person you get laid with gets killed by the thing following, because if that thing following you catches you and touches you, like whatever,
Yeah.
you die really brutally.
Oh.
But if that happens, then it reverts back to you.
Oh my god.
So it's like a,
It's just making sure that it keeps going on. Like
Yeah.
it's a thing that can't just be stopped.
and it disguises
Jeez.
itself as it could be like if you're in a cinema, it could be just someone eating or walking down the steps.
Or the old lady with a torch. Turn that torch on.
Okay,
Grandma.
but
Oh, that
sometimes you
sounds
just have
that
no
sounds
idea. Well,
horrifying.
they do normally have an idea because it's kind of staring at you and walking quite slowly.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's
At
even
you,
worse.
like-
Yeah.
Walking slowly, just constant.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I
The
don't like
ending gives me like goosebumps thinking
Oh,
about
I
it.
wanna
Yeah,
watch
I
it.
want to watch it.
I wanna watch that.
Should we watch it? Should we have a movie night?
Should we have a movie night? We'll have a movie night sometime. DNA.
DNA.
What does it stand for?
Deoxyribose nucleic acid. Thank you.
Oh, I
Thank
leaned
you.
into the microphone just to really
Right.
emphasise.
I done BTEC
Thank God.
science.
Thank God one of us knew.
Yeah.
I think it's that anyway.
Have you guys heard about the whole thing where you can take some of your blood or like a swab of your mouth or whatever and send it off, and then people will give you a extremely detailed analysis of your history and your ancestry and everything?
Yeah, I've heard of that. Loads of like celebrities /
Yeah.
YouTubers are doing it,
Yeah.
or have done
really?
it rather. Yeah,
So
There's
what can they find out?
where like where your ancestors were from.
Yeah, so
Oh.
they
Yeah.
find out ethnicity estimates such as like a percentage of Irish, Asian, Italian, whatever,
Mm.
like what you could be. They also have matches to other people, so other people in their system, they can tell you how close of a cousin they are to you and everything. So you can
Whoa.
literally see an entire family tree. And they also send you your DNA text code, your DNA in text.
Oh, what in
All the-
binary?
yeah,
1, 0.
all the letters.
Oh right,
So
yeah,
whatever.
okay.
That's
So it's
pretty
in
cool.
triplets.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Get that tattooed on my forehead.
Yeah,
It'd be a
Tom,
very
Tom,
long.
it's 700,000.
Yeah.
I've got a big
rows
forehead.
of numbers.
Not as yeah.
I could squeeze it in there.
Your
Try and
hairline's
guess.
still intact. You'll be alright.
Try and guess how many megabytes the file is that they send you of all of your code.
I reckon it's
70.
no. I
think
reckon
70
I reckon
megabytes.
it's about
Megabytes is tiny as well.
yeah. I reckon it's about 380.
Oh, have I gone way too low?
It's 6 megabytes.
What?
oh,
6 megabytes.
how much is a megabyte?
Well, one bit is one character.
Yeah. Well,
So-
yeah, roughly.
Is about that.
Right.
Okay. So 1 bit and then 100 bits, or is it 1,000 bits make up a megabyte?
Well, 6 megabytes in a zipped file, but even still, it's like
It's tiny.
it's tiny.
I am
It's
6
ridiculous.
megabytes worth of information. That's all I am.
Really?
Well done. Jesus, dude.
The
You're right.
worst. No.
But there's a lot of ancestry and DNA scanning stories and services. A few of them are Family Tree DNA, 23andMe, Ancestry DNA, My Heritage DNA,
Do you have
Living
to-
DNA, and Finding My Past.
There's
Do you have to
one.
pay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Do.
one thing I'm not sure if I'd want to know is how likely it is you are to contract certain.
Yeah,
That would be fascinating, though.
It would
It
be,
would
a
be,
bit
but I
scary.
don't know if
know
I'd
that.
want to know like what the percentage is of me
Getting something
dying
in later
from
life.
Getting smallpox
X,
or
Y, Z.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I don't
I'd just
know.
love to know where my ancestor came from.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
I'd love to know how much % I am like this really obscure thing,
Yeah.
and then hold that against everyone. You know,
Well-
I'm actually 0.03% of this and
But
that.
how do they know that?
Cat.
That's the thing.
How do they know that? Like,
What
Some of
makes
the DNA,
an
isn't it?
Italian DNA different from an English DNA?
I
Surely
think-
it would just be
I
European.
think they probably take enough of like an Italian's DNA, and they know what the constant is.
Just fusilli shape.
Yeah, it's just hang on a minute.
there's linguine
There's
there.
a DNA.
Absolutely.
But I gather some quite interesting stories about it. In my genetics class, we do a blood typing lab, and our teacher told a story about her first year doing it, where this girl who had blood type. This girl had a blood type that meant that her dad couldn't be her actual father,
Ooh.
and the mum, who also
Deep.
worked at the school, got caught cheating. It's stories like that, which
Now
is
I'm
what a
not
crazy
gonna
way to find out.
Oh no!
What a mental way to find out.
Oh no.
Another one is a former colleague of mine took the test and found she had a different father than her sister, and neither of them were related to the father. She decided to confront her mum about her identity, and she found out that her mum and dad
Was a man.
were in a group sex, and
Oh.
that the biological father could be a number of gentlemen.
Oh my
It sounds like
God.
a
What a
movie plot,
terrifying
doesn't
way
it?
to find
I
out.
would not want to hear that.
Yeah.
I'd just bet, you know what, I'll take it. I don't know who my dad is. I don't
Yeah.
want to hear
I
about
don't want to know
what's going
Hear
on.
about how it happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going to ask you, like, what is the one thing you'd like to find out? And yeah, it would be like the chances of illness or the chances of having this and that.
I would like to find out that, but it would.
That's
I
a-
don't think I'd be able to let it go.
No.
The whole of my
It would
life.
hold-
about
it would
it.
hold
I'm
against you.
90% likely
That's
to
a
die today.
really interesting one, but I'd like
You can
to
find
know.
out like the age that you're going to die as well.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to know that.
No,
either.
exactly. That's-
How you're going to die? Why is that in my DNA? A car?
Look
What?
behind you.
in the code. Oh no.
No, but I'd love to know like where I came from.
Yeah.
And you can also
Yeah.
figure all this stuff out when you go to, if you like do IVF, you can like pick between which embryo.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it's mental.
like
isn't it?
coming
You
up with a
can
character,
literally,
isn't it?
You can
Yeah.
literally create your own.
You can.
So I'm trying to find it now. But speaking of DNA and altering it, I saw a film on Netflix.
Black Mirror.
It wasn't Black Mirror. It wasn't Black Mirror related, and it was all about. It was set in the future and how everyone's kids are tailored. So you choose the outcome of your kid, and there's no natural births anymore. And the people that have natural births, their kids are less likely to get jobs and stuff because they're not tailored
Not
DNA.
perfect.
Exactly.
They weren't
Um,
created.
I've heard of that.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
think
remember what
I
it
watched
is.
it in Science or something. I found it again on Netflix. I'm trying to find it now.
Oh, is it the one with Tom Cruise in it?
It's Tom Cruise.
No, not
isn't
Tom
in
Cruise.
it.
Oh no, Christian Bale. Is it
No.
the one with him in it?
No, he's not in it.
Just start naming
I
actors.
start naming him. No, because there's one that he's in, and he. Oh,
It's not, but like
Maybe I'm
it's so
thinking
interesting
wrong.
because it's set in the future, and this one guy who was born a natural birth, so he had bad eyesight and stuff, which is a very obvious thing in this universe that you were a natural birth because people that were tailored wouldn't have all these inefficiencies.
inadequacies.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. You read
And
that word quite a lot, don't you?
Yep.
Oh,
Might
no.
just reel it off.
Nice.
And it was so interesting, and because the guy that was natural birth, he wanted to be an astronaut, but there was no way in hell that he could be anything other than a cleaner because of his DNA.
This is the film.
It's
I'm sure it's
amazing.
Christian Bale.
It's not Christian Bale. No. No.
No idea what it's called.
No, I'm trying to find it
I
on
watched it in
Netflix.
science as well.
Yeah, you were probably in the same
probably all
class.
did. I'm
We probably
sure-
all did, yeah.
You
Yeah.
weren't in my. You were not in my class.
Who are you talking
Not
to?
even on the same
I was
level.
Who are
I
you
was in
talking to?
Max's class, so.
Wait, that makes you in my class?
Yeah, I was in your class.
What, in
that-
science?
Yeah,
You
I-
took triple science?
No.
I
Oh, there
took-
you go then.
I
So
took
shut
triple
up.
science.
Did
I wasn't
you?
in your class.
No, you
Oh,
weren't.
well.
You were in the lower set.
Or there weren't any.
Aiden
lower
Hot.
sets.
Yes, there were. There was a top set and like a second
they-
to top
they
set.
just lied to me.
That's what Aiden's teacher told
They
me.
just lied to me.
I was
Tom, you're
one
in
of
the
the
set, don't worry
elite.
about it.
You're in
I
the
was one
best
of the
set.
elite.
The elite. What, of
Mhm.
triple science?
Yep. What'd you get in science?
I'm not.
Out of
getting
no,
into
just
a
out of
slogging
interest. No,
match.
just out of
I'm not-
interest.
No, I'm better than this.
All right.
I
Well,
don't
I
need
got
to go
I
there.
got a B in biology.
Where are you now?
B in physics. I'm in a radio talk show
Gattaca.
for free. Not even getting paid. Who?
Gattaca.
Yeah, that's the film with
What?
Christian Bale.
Gas- He's not in it.
Who's
Christian
in it?
Bale.
It's not
you mug.
Christian
Who is
Bale.
it then?
not.
It's a famous.
It's got Irene Cassini in it.
Not
Who
him.
knows?
She's
Her.
the famous woman from Kill Bill, I think.
Show me the.
No, that's
show me
Uma
it.
Thurman. isn't
Gattaca.
it?
Yeah, because Miss. I'm not going to name her. My science teacher. showed
Ethan
me it.
Hawke. That's it.
It looks like him, Aiden, but it's not him.
Yeah, maybe that's
Yeah,
him.
Gattaca
and
on
Yeah,
Netflix.
it's him.
Did you watch it in
That's the one.
biology?
Yeah,
it must
and
be
you see him
biology.
all getting like centrifuges, like
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
It's so interesting because obviously he doesn't belong there, so he has to fake someone else's identity.
Yeah,
And the way he does it, and how like they look for DNA and everything, and it's a really interesting film and relevant
cool.
to it.
That is the one. Why did I get Christian
Another
Bale?
futuristic film which has Tom Cruise in it is
Oblivion?
No, the other one, the quite an older one.
With the detectives, and they can
Yes.
use them.
It's just escaped
It's
my
a
mind.
weird name for a film where they're all in like the pods almost,
Yeah.
and they use them to predict crimes and everything.
Exactly it.
What's it called?
The prediction.
Was it a really old one? Was it
No,
really
it's
old?
like 90s.
Mission Impossible.
No, it's not. It's not Mission Impossible.
Vanilla Sky, Minority Report.
No.
Where is
Oh,
it?
Minority Report. Is that?
Is it that one?
Yeah, it's Minority
I
Report.
have
Got it,
seen
mate.
that, but ages
Where
ago.
he like has to replace. He gets a new eyeball just to
Yeah.
get through the scanners.
Yeah.
But the
So
whole thing
cool.
of predicting crimes is incredible because there's that bit in the beginning where some guy finds his wife cheating on him, and he picks up some scissors to stab her, and then they're racing to figure out which home they're in. That the police are trying,
Because
but he
they-
hasn't done it yet. The wife hasn't even
Yeah. But
started.
He
it's
hasn't
looking at
even
patterns,
cheated
isn't
yet.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they bust in, they arrest him. So there's like
Because he thought about it, which
He
is
thought
mental.
about it.
It's the plot of
Which in today's law wouldn't go down.
No.
It wouldn't
Because
go
you have
down.
to have the mens rea and actus reus for it to be a crime. You have to
Oh,
think about it and
well,
act on that.
Nice one, Aiden.
Thank
and-
you, BTEC law.
But
as
it's,
well.
Is everything beta?
it's everything.
Yes,
You do
I
have
wasn't.
muted.
I wasn't quite A
He hasn't
level.
learned anything
I wasn't
since
A level
college.
standard.
Shame.
I tried, but I transferred. It was more my speed.
I was A-level standard.
All
I
right,
was
well,
university standard.
I know
actually.
you were.
So was
You
Josh.
both were.
We were university standard.
Josh
yeah.
just media though. So
What was
Yeah,
that? Tom, what was that? I
what does
heard you
that even
clearly, but what was
mean?
that? I'm giving you a chance to...
you're great.
Thanks, boy. Thanks, boy.
No worries.
Thanks, boy.
You're right, Aiden.
So, yeah.
We're all on different paths.
Some
But
are
Aiden likes
lower
to tell
down
himself.
than
Yeah.
others.
Some are in lower sets than others, but they don't tell us. So yeah, that was a small
Scrub.
segment on DNA and everything, which is really interesting.
Beautiful.
And I think DNA advancements are getting scary. Obviously, you can change the look a little bit of your baby if you want to.
And it's also really cool medically because you can scan someone's DNA, and there's, for example, in breast cancer in women, it's bloody brilliant because they found a genome or whatever.
yeah.
If you have that, the chance of you getting breast cancer is ridiculously high. So they'll be like, look, we can do this early. We can do I can't remember what they call it, where they chop.
Oh yeah.
They basically remove
I can't remember what it's called either.
mammer something.
Mass-
They basically remove
Mammogram. No,
No,
that's
that's
the
the scan.
That's the
It's
scan.
that sort of thing. They remove the tissue that will
Yeah.
become afflicted,
yeah.
and then you'll be all good, and you'll be clear,
That's
and you have
crazy.
that peace of mind.
That's crazy.
It's just mental. All that just from finding one bit of code.
And just think, where are we going to be in like 10 years' time? Even just 5 years' time?
Mental.
Probably starting Brexit.
Probably starting Brexit.
Be going there again. Surely
Is that what
not.
it's called?
Yeah, mastectomy.
That's it. Yeah, when they
Who was
remove
that?
one or both of the
Yeah.
breasts.
Oh, we did.
That's really
Can we trust? Can we trust him? Save the city. Come here.
Okay, so I have 10 questions for you guys. This is answered. I'm going to answer this to both of you, and it's just whoever gets closest or answers it whenever I want to.
So do we have to take turns answing it?
No,
or
I'm
can
just
we
going
both
to ask
just
it to
shout?
both of you
The
because
first one.
a few
Don't
of them can be.
I won't
Don't
shout, I'll
A
just-
few of them can
it's a
be
small room.
quite out there. Okay, the first one is the unusual name of a McDonald's bubblegum flavor they once made. They once made bubblegum, and what was the unusual flavor?
The McBubble. Oh, the flavour, not the name.
That's not a flavour.
Bubble flavour.
Aiden.
No, I'm gonna say
Pizza.
No, I was gonna say maybe like French fry flavour.
Oh,
That would be nice, actually.
horrific.
I don't know.
Vanilla milkshake.
Ooh,
You think
That'd
is
be a-
that an
that'd be a-
unusual flavour?
No, actually, it's
unusual.
not, is it?
Okay, what's their signature? Big Mac flavour, surely.
Is it
Okay,
food?
It's food. It's a vegetable.
Peas.
Hummus.
Close. No,
Did you just say
Potato, then.
hummus?
Yeah, I said hummus.
Hummus
potato.
flavoured chewing gum.
Well, these have
Actually-
all been.
That's
Wait,
could be interesting.
so it's a vegetable.
yeah,
It's right.
Onion.
no.
What? I'm running out of
I'm
vegetables here.
stumped.
Broccoli.
Yeah, it's broccoli.
What? Broccoli?
No.
There's not one
No.
thing on the
The
McDonald's
unusual
menu that has
name
broccoli.
of
in
a
it.
McDonald's bubblegum flavour was broccoli.
Oh,
Who made that
I love
decision?
broccoli,
McDonald's. So
Great.
but it's not in any of their meals, surely.
it's really weird. Yeah. Aiden,
Why
you
would
got
they?
that
Why
right.
would they choose that?
Well done, Aiden.
God knows. Aiden, you get a keep a track of. Wait, I'll keep track of your points.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is
Hey,
this our
Aiden.
score sheet again?
Here's a score
Tally
sheets bag.
chart.
Everyone loved
Impromptu.
that from last week.
Oh, I loved it as well.
Aiden 1 point. Okay,
Just
next
like
question.
Okay.
Did you guys know? First of all, Oranges weren't orange to begin with.
No, they weren't.
It's the House of Orange
what
that
colour-
made them orange.
What colour were oranges
I'm
to begin
out.
with?
I'm immediately out.
You're colourblind.
This is just not fair. I'm going
This
to
is where I swoop
say.
into
They're
victory.
only colour questions for the next few years.
What's close to orange? I'm going to say green.
Hey, you got it right. Green.
What? I didn't even get a chance,
You
man.
just
I
say
had to
it.
pipe in. I
Pipe
should have
up,
come
mate.
out
You
with
got to
it.
pipe
I
up.
just thought I'd let the colourblind kid get an advantage by making them.
And how
go
about that? Because
first.
green and orange to me are like peas in a pod. And more or
Nice.
less
Back
the
to the
same.
vegetables.
Peas because they're
What colour
green.
are peas?
Green.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
They're actually orange this whole time. They've been orange, and you're like green.
Nice one, Aiden.
Thank you.
Proud of
Okay. Aiden, 2 versus 0. You're doing so
How
well
about
so far.
you. Huh.
How about that? Tom,
Yeah.
well, both of you.
But
Give the
me,
kid a chance.
preferably.
How many words does Scotland have for snow?
For
3.
snow,
How many words does Scotland have
4.
for the word snow?
5.
I would say 1.
Try and guess. Okay, it's over 50.
What?
And it's
How many
it's,
different?
it's
Snore?
under.
Are
It's,
they
it's,
slang words?
It's under 500 and over 50.
That's a huge.
That's a huge range. But
Range.
I want to throw it out there for you guys.
250.
Between 350 and 400.
You got to give me an exact one.
478.
You're saying 478. Thomas, higher or
Mate,
lower?
that's
Wait, that's such a
way
high.
too
Okay, yeah,
much.
go ahead, Tom. Higher
Are
or lower?
you
Well, he said
right.
between 30 and 500.
Yeah,
50
but-
and 500. So you're saying that
So
one.
naturally, this is it's got to be lower.
It's got to be. You've handed me this.
You've handed
on
it on a golden-
snow-covered
Oh wait, do you
platter.
win if he gets it
Yeah.
higher or lower? Oh bloody hell! No! I didn't know that was the I didn't know that was the rules. I didn't know that was the rules. Shut
Wait,
up.
Tom, Aiden, go ahead.
Oh, come on. He's
Um,
two ahead. Give me
I'm gonna say 72. That's a
Tom,
bit
higher or
more
lower?
reasonable. Now that is
the
it too
game's-
low? Is it too
The
low?
game
I don't
has
even know 72 words.
changed. The rules of the game have changed.
For snow.
I'm gonna go.
You'd think it'd be stupid.
I'm gonna stick with lower, man.
You're going to stick with lower.
No. What's
So
the
you're
answer?
saying lower.
Yeah.
The answer is 421.
What?
Aiden got a point.
No, can we have a select?
Are you alright?
I actually got a point.
Are you alright?
But yeah,
No,
they
that's
have,
not right.
They have 400. Look here. Scots have 402 words for snow.
So it's not 400.
What are they?
I'm just about to look.
Yeah, I just
There's
want
a
to
whole-
see.
BBC article on this.
Feeful is to swell. Flidricken is a slight snow shower. Snorpalther is
Well,
fine,
this is
fine
like
driving
Gaelic or
stuff.
something, isning it?
Well,
It's all
to
over
be
the
fair,
place.
it's all. I mean, I'm imagining like Scandinavia, they've got a whole load
Yeah,
of
ridiculous.
words for snow
Because it's always there.
snow.
It's always snow. Hey, look,
It's all
it's,
they
it's,
have.
They're not like
it's this kind of
snow day because
Woo!
it's permanently
snow
snowing.
every day.
Yeah.
Hey, dry day.
Blimey, I didn't know there was that many like
There are
words
400 I
for the
didn't
same
realise-
thing.
didn't even know there were that many words.
Oh, obviously there are.
421.
No, but for
Um,
one thing.
Yeah.
Next
Jeez.
question.
Yeah, go on.
Which animal's shell is bulletproof?
Turtle.
Armadillo.
Aiden got it right again. Armadillo.
I actually knew that one.
Tom was sorry.
No,
What's
carry
that
on.
for, Neil?
Next one.
Whoa.
Tom might guess this is an English one. The
I'm not
longest
gonna get this.
English word is how many letters wrong?
Wrong.
Long.
13.
No, that's wrong.
14.
The longest English word is how many letters?
20.
Letters
No,
long?
it's something ridiculous. Like I'm gonna say 38.
It can't be.
Okay. 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 It's ridiculous.
Isn't
this
it
number.
like anti-disestablishment?
Nah, it's longer
It's-
than that.
I've never heard of this word before. because- Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's the full name of a protein nicknamed Titan, that would take 3.5 hours to say out loud.
Shut up.
What?
Yeah,
Shut
honestly,
No, it's not.
honestly, it is. So
Why
guess
would they give it this
how
name?
many-
Imagine that. I can't even hold a normal conversation for that long.
You know, like
and
some-
they've made a word.
So some scientist in the lab is like, you know what I'm going to call this, guys?
Look, he had a lot of spare time. In his
I hope you've got some time. This is going to take me 3.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised they shortened it.
Hey, write this down. So yeah, guess how many thousands of
Shut
how many of
2,600.
letters?
And it would take three
2,600.
3 hours and a half.
3.5 hours to
Aiden,
pronounce.
say something. Tom's gonna say higher or lower.
God, I can say a lot of letters really quickly. I
Come
just said like about 30 there.
Come on.
So how many are you gonna say? If it's 3 hours and a half,
4,700 letters,
Tom, higher or lower?
which
Lower.
I still feel that's too low.
Are you gonna say lower, Tom?
Or it might be higher.
It's a lot of words, Tom. Higher or lower?
Think about how many letters you're saying now. Just thinking.
Okay, higher.
You wanna say higher?
Yeah.
It is 189,819.
Can
Tom
you?
got a
Can I
point.
read? Does it even
Yay.
fit on your script?
No, so apparently there's an entire website for it. Let me quickly go to it.
There's a website dedicated.
This is the longest word in the English
Yeah.
language.
That's got a.
It's
That's ridiculous.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is 34 letters long.
And it's not a word.
And Tom, try and pronounce this. This is what appears to be the second longest.
I hope you guys
45
have
letters
3.5
long.
hours.
I could smash this. Pneumotramicoscopix illica. You've lost me. No, it's gone.
Volcanic.
Wait, they've just shoved volcano in it. No, I'm going to put volcano.
They've shoved volcano in this. So
What we got?
this is only 45
And this
letters
is the third.
long.
This is the second.
What I imagine.
Pneumoneurotramoscopic illivolcanoconiosis. Coniosis.
What does-
Expelliarmus!
What does it
And
mean?
can I just say supercalifragilistic?
Expialidocious.
Yeah, it's not a word, surely.
It still counts. 'cause
What does
it's in-
that
it's in the
first
song.
one mean?
What does that word
don't know.
mean? Supercalifragilistic. That
It
doesn't
does.
have a
It's not a
definition.
word. Sorry, I'm scrolling. I want to. Why would they not?
You've lost control.
I've
The
lost
longest
control.
word in the
Aiden's in
Oxford.
charge.
Chaos.
Okay, here we go. So the longest word in the Oxford English Dictionary is 45 letters long, which is the pneumovolcano
Yeah,
word.
but in the English word.
But in the the longest
Fool.
well-known nonsense word. Oh, it's a nonsense word. I think
Okay,
that's what it
question
means.
number 6. It's another number one. Tom, you're on the board with 1 point versus 4. Aiden point.
So there's a chance.
Yeah, there is. How
Still a
many
chance.
eggs do octopuses lay?
Octopi.
Octopus.
lay at any time. How many eggs does an octopus?
What, like in one sitting?
I imagine so. Here's a little fact for you guys. The mother spends 6 months so devoted to protecting the eggs that she doesn't eat. The babies are the size of a grain of rice when they are born. How many thousands?
Oh my days.
How many thousand eggs do they lay at one time?
It's tiny.
Imagine a few.
Aiden, once again, you're going to give a number, and Tom's going to say higher or lower.
How many?
Thousands.
I'm going to say 12,000
Tom, higher or lower?
grains of rice. That's nothing. Well, it's actually quite a lot if they're inside you, probably.
Yeah, that's
You probably
quite a
feel
few.
that.
I reckon,
I mean,
you'd see it.
octopi are big.
They are quite big.
I'm going to say lower.
You say lower.
Yeah.
Aiden's got a point.
What?
It's
How many?
56,000.
I don't get it.
Jesus.
I think this is.
56,000.
I just rigged.
It's not rigged. It's legit.
straight
It's
up
all
rigged.
here.
56,000. And yet there's only like
That's mental.
you never see them in groups. There's
You
always
don't.
only just one on
Free
its
boys.
own.
I always thought they were quite like rare.
I did
Quite,
as well.
Yeah, same. But when it's 56,
find.
surely like
Well,
not
maybe
even
that's
half
because-
of them.
Gotta be loads
Yeah,
kicking
survive.
about.
I reckon not even half of them. I reckon
Yeah.
it's a
Survival
quarter
rating,
or
yeah.
something. I reckon they end up eating each other.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
reckon?
maybe
Yeah,
it's sea
something
creatures.
savage
Or
like
the
that.
mum
It
just
guarantees.
eats them.
It guarantees
The
then
mum's
that the
like,
strongest
I'm
ones
hungry, I'm
make it.
protecting
So the
you.
mum's
nom, nom, nom.
really hungry.
Yeah.
Just fancies a
Or
baby.
it's a
Octopus
Nemo
fried
phenomenon.
rice.
Ooh,
Should
that
we get
sounds
fried- anyway.
really good.
I would eat that.
Next up, question number 7. How many calories can a blue whale eat in one mouthful? How many calories?
Well,
5!
It's plankton, isn't
is
it?
plankton.
And krill.
And krill, but they have big mouths. They get a lot
They
in.
do have big mouths.
How many calories is in like a bit of plankton? Like,
Not
Probably
many,
that
I
much.
don't reckon.
They eat
A
lights and
couple.
nothing.
judging by SpongeBob, they've got to be quite small.
Yeah.
They're literally tiny.
Yeah.
They feed off of light molecules. That's how
Yeah.
small
Have
they
you
are.
seen the
Really?
picture? The picture of
Mm.
plankton from SpongeBob eating, and it's
Photo-
like a
Yeah.
photo.
Yeah, that's
It's
accurate,
hologram
isn't it?
meatloaf.
I saw
Yeah.
that today.
That's funny. Yeah.
I
What
saw it
was
today
was
as
that on
well.
Twitter?
Facebook.
I don't know.
That's
It's
on
on
Facebook.
Facebook. Anyway, no,
How
holographic.
many-
Is Tom going first? Am I going first?
You're saying a number. Tom's guessing higher or lower because you're in the lead, Aiden.
In a single
How many
mouthful.
thousands of calories in a
Oh,
single
it's
mouthful?
thousands. About 8.
You're gonna say 8,000 calories in a
Mm.
single mouthful.
I'm
Tom,
going to say higher.
you're gonna say higher. Tom's got a point.
Wait.
It's
Yay,
500,000.
back on the board.
500,000 is 500,000. 500,000
What?
calories in a
Wow.
single mouthful of a blue whale.
What?
That's
How
crazy.
is that?
Surely that's overeating.
No, because they need a
For
lot.
saying-
They're always moving.
Well, what do
no.
they, so what? They have one mouthful of something,
A day, and they're like, oh bloody hell.
and
They-
that's
they,
it.
they probably need a few million calories.
Mind
a
you,
day.
they are the biggest.
They're
They are. They
huge.
do weigh
Aren't
tons.
they the biggest mammal? Is it? Are
They're
they
the
a
biggest
mammal?
alive
mammal.
today.
The biggest
Hmm.
animal alive today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question number 8. Up to
Jeez.
how long can a giraffe's tongue get? How many inches?
Well, if you think a tongue goes pretty much the whole way
Down your
down,
throat.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
And they've got a pretty big throat.
How many inches?
58.
You're gonna say 58 inches.
Actually, that's not much. Let me take that back.
Is it not?
Shut up.
Got my fingers
Because like
out.
one ruler is
Mm.
12, 90 inches.
You're gonna say 90 inches. Tom,
Give
higher
or
or lower?
take.
I'm going to say higher.
You're gonna say higher.
Uh,
Is that your final answer?
yeah, I'm committing.
Aiden got a point.
Oh,
Yeah,
how
of
much?
course.
20 inches.
Oh, is that it?
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not much.
20 inches. How long can a
Well,
giraffe's
it
tongue
is,
get?
if-
20 inches.
To be fair,
Well,
it's
12
probably
inches
about
is
right.
like what, that? Is that about right? About a ruler?
About this big.
Shut up. That's a metre, mate. 12 inches.
Meters
It's like
this big.
no, that's like a ruler, isn't it? A standard ruler.
That's 30 centimeters.
What's that? That's not a metre.
about a stand. No,
A
this
metre
is
is this
this is a 12 inches, mate. I would know. So,
Question number 9. No number before 1,000 contains which letter? You both have a chance. No number before 1,000 contains which letter?
oh no, I fucked that one up. Oh, messed it up. Sorry.
That's fine.
Oh no.
Beep.
I'm so sorry.
fine.
Well, I've given my answer.
Are
Sorry.
you saying O?
No, I'm not saying O because literally the first number has an O in it.
0!
I was thinking.
0.
Oh, and 1. That's what I was thinking.
I don't. I'm trying to think. Like,
S.
wait, hold on. This has got to be obvious. X.
No,
You're
I
saying
put
X.
S.
You're saying S. You're saying what are you looking in? He's looking in S.
X.
You're looking in X.
X.
Surely.
Thousand.
You're both wrong, so I'm going to give you another round.
Wait,
until
is
you
it,
get-
wait, what's the
X.
question? Is it a letter that's
no
not
number.
Before 1,000.
No number before 1,000 contains which letter?
in it? What letter? What number has a letter X in it?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's why I said H. But then I thought, wait, I haven't said H. H.
You're saying H.
I'm saying H.
Tom, what are you
U.
looking in? You're
Is
saying
U?
U. Okay, I'm going to
it
keep
is
getting...
you, isn't it?
E. No, E's. Of course it E's in it.
A.
Aiden got it right.
A.
It's A.
Oh my God.
It's
No.
A. Well done, guys.
All the ones I
Oh.
said. As soon as I said it, I was like, oh
I
God.
did terrible, man. That
Don't
was
worry, guys.
frankly
Don't worry.
embarrassing.
There were a lot of numbers between 0 and
Quite a
1,000.
few.
And final question. What Chinese calendar animal will start on the 4th of February 2019?
Ooh, what is it?
2019 will
We've just had
be
monkey,
Year of the
haven't we?
what?
Dragon.
You're saying dragon.
No, it's not, is it?
I don't know. I don't follow it.
Year of the tiger. I'm
Tiger.
sticking with
I
tiger,
thought
mate.
tiger. I think tiger's a little while away yet.
We've got rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon,
You're about to
snake,
give the
horse,
Horse.
sheep, monkey, rooster, dog, pig.
I'm gonna say horse then.
You're saying horse, Tom.
I'm just going to stick with tiger. It's probably wrong.
You're both
anyway.
wrong.
Pig.
You're saying pig.
Rat.
Aiden got it right, it's pig.
Hey.
Oh, really?
Some other things that I found out that was interesting is thanks to 3D printing, NASA can basically email tools to astronauts, which is quite interesting.
Oh,
Because
like,
they're-
3D
That's
faxing.
sick, isn't it?
That is
That's
crazy.
so
That is
good.
amazing.
Hey,
Genuinely
I
good.
left my screwdriver at home, and they ping it up.
Oh my God,
Or-
they're literally
They
beaming it up.
literally email it to
Hey,
you.
I miss my wife.
Oh, no.
Sending now, Roger. Oh no.
That's not my wife, but
also,
it'll do.
also,
Wow.
movie trailers originally played after the movie, which is interesting.
Wait, what?
Movie trailers they used to play after the
That's
movie.
so much better because I don't pay to watch the adverts. I pay to watch the film.
I know, but obviously people were leaving, but like nobody's gonna sit after the film. and
No,
watch the
I kind
trailers.
of prefer
Yeah.
at the start. I hate the actual adverts, the TV adverts.
I like the movie adverts before the film
movie
because,
adverts
like,
are the best.
yeah, because you're in the mood to watch a film. So you're like, oh,
Yeah.
we'll watch that one next.
when counting up
When-
to 1 million
Mhm.
until 1 million, your lips never touch.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
They never
I'm
touch.
now
7,
actually
8, 9,
touching
10,
them just to
11,
slide
12,
that
13,
fact.
14, 15,
One,
16,
one,
17,
no.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
Okay, I want to know, guys. 2019 hopes and dreams and resolutions for New Year's. What do you look forward to in 2019? What is something you're like, yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that, or I want this to happen, or obviously I know one of us has a very big 2019. It's gonna be all over the
Ooh.
place.
Well, what's Aiden got coming?
No, don't act like it's me.
Obviously you don't have to talk about that if you don't want to.
Yeah, no.
I'll start. What you guys are thinking? 2019 for me, hopefully I'd stabilise a job, and I'd have a good job after university. Obviously, it's my final year, and I should hopefully graduate in June. So this year is quite a pinnacle year for me.
I haven't really got a lot planned, but I'm hoping. Well, not hoping. This is the language I need to start using. Here's one. Language I use needs to be more
Positive?
well, not positive. More like
Socially
I am
accepted?
actually going to do. Yeah, maybe more like I am going to do it. Not like, oh yeah, I was thinking about doing this.
Oh,
Not,
yeah,
I
not-
need to say, oh yeah, I am going to do
right.
this.
So
I
it's
like
about
that.
changing your state
get
of
up-
mind before
2019.
you.
Yeah, that's my foot under the table. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
That's good. It's going to be
footsies.
my go get 'em year. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna either my main goal is to either compete or be training to compete in
Yeah.
something.
And what do you currently do at the moment, Aiden? Fighting wise, you do.
Fight. Oh, okay. If it's going to be specifically that, it would be either jiu-jitsu,
Which you do anyway.
which I do anyway, or I would take up. I'm torn between boxing and kickboxing, one of those two.
Yeah.
So I went to an event and it was just amazing to watch.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I want to give that
So
a go.
would it be martial arts that you'd compete in?
Yeah, I think that'd be my main thing
Yeah.
because I've got experience in it already, just not in the competitive side. We have to be fit,
Right.
mentally disciplined and all that. That's a
Yeah.
whole other bit I haven't experienced yet.
Yeah.
So I'd like to
I
give
feel
it a
like that
go.
would
Give it a
you,
go.
a lot of focus, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
for
that's
sure.
the thing. It would give me something to focus on and completely change my mindset, which would just be amazing. So I'd love to give that a go.
Yeah.
So that'll be. I think I'll make that my not like resolution, but my goal for next
That's
year.
good.
Be it at the end of the year, or it might happen right at the start. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
when
man.
we group up next year, we'll discuss where you are, if you are
Right, group up right at the end of the year.
here. Yeah.
Right at the end.
Hey guys, again.
I haven't seen you in a year.
How we doing?
And Tom,
That's me.
2019,
Well, yeah, like you said, big year
big year.
coming up.
Big year.
Really big year.
Yep.
So like, basically,
Big year.
So basically, yeah, I've got a baby on the way, and
Baby on the way.
and I can't wait, and like it's gonna change a lot of things and make a lot of things harder. I think that's all right to say.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm
Challenging.
totally
Big
like
step.
prepared. It's a huge step, and I feel like it's like given me a lot more focus and direction in my life.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's not just you anymore. You've got a
Exactly, mate.
greater purpose.
exactly.
Now.
I never really had a purpose before, and I feel like, I mean, you
Yeah.
guys probably might even feel the same way, but you just
Yeah.
feel like you're sort of drifting through it a little
Oh yeah,
bit. and
100%. I'm just kind of cruising.
Yeah.
I don't really have a goal.
Just in the backseat of the car, don't really know where you're going, but you're
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah,
and I feel
more or
like
less,
now I've
You found the map.
I've got to take. Well, I found kind of like I've typed in the postcode in the sat nav, and I'm kind of getting there. But yeah, I just can't wait really for next year.
Very
a lot
nice.
of things
and
are
we,
going to change.
we can't wait as well. We're so happy for you, man.
Oh, cheers, bro.
Well done, guys. Thank you ever so much. This might be the last time you guys are on, because we're going to start recording our podcast.
Yeah,
Podcast.
And I think it takes up this time slot. It'll be around this time.
Yeah.
We're going to be posting it. We might do a post or two about it on the I'll Be Damned Facebook page. So keep your eyes peeled on there.
And your ears
And
waxed.
your ears waxed. I want to shout out my dog, because if my parents are listening, then my dog's in the background.
Yeah, shout out to Charlie.
Shout out to
Big
Charlie.
up, Charlie.
Big up, Charlie. Big up.
Charlie.
Bye. And yeah, guys, shout outs.
Yeah, shout out to my beautiful girlfriend.
Yep.
And
Every time.
we did.
Adorable.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that's all that's listening really on my side.
Okay. Excellent. Aiden.
I think it's been the same for the last 2 weeks, but shout out to my mum.
Very nice.
It's got to be my mum.
Of course.
Number one.
Yeah.
Number one mum.
Anyone else you just want to shout out anyway that might not be listening, but
Shout out to me for coming out and doing it.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Shout out to you, Aiden.
for coming
For
out.
coming out and doing it.
You came out.
Wait,
This
wait.
is
Hold
I'm-
on a second. Let's take that back. Analyze.
Wait a minute. Analyze. Enhance.
Enhance.
Thank you for listening. Once again, thank you to our special guests. The last 2 weeks have been an absolute pleasure for me, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Have you got any highlights from the last few weeks?
It's just been totally new. I've never done anything
doing
like this,
this.
at all.
Yeah,
Just
I
doing
remember
this
the
in general.
first one was terrifying, wasn't it?
Oh man, I was sweating.
When I
was
threw it on you
awful.
guys, 1 in 5.
But we had like 5 viewers and we just sort of
I didn't even know. Like
chatted nonsense.
That wasn't
was
the point,
just
was it?
nonsense,
It was
wasn't
just it was fun.
terrifying.
Yeah, it was.
So are you not doing this anymore? Is
Well,
I'll Be
obviously-
Damned no longer?
Well, obviously the original crew, Joe and Josh and Hein, are going to be back on at
Oh,
5
yeah,
p.m.
that's
the boring crew.
What was that, Aiden?
What?
What'd
Who
you say?
said that?
I
the Vanilla
agree.
Crew.
Vanilla boys.
But we might be able to chip in every so often or have our own 7 p.m. slot. but
Well, we
obviously
would. Yeah,
we need to
would then
focus on our
actually be
podcast.
special guests, wouldn't
We
we?
would be,
We
yeah.
would be.
Rather
proper
than
ones.
regular guests
Rather
for
than
the
regular
last.
hosts.
And they're back again.
Hey.
Back at it again.
Not so special guests.
Thank you, guys. Bye. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Sorry.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thanks for listening. To skip to our first official Having Words podcast, check out episode 4.